thing is what is big IP? Now we know what is F5. But what is basically big IP? You will heard this name. Well, you will say everybody will say we have a big IP. You will say what the hell is big IP? So basically, as I told you at the beginning, 1997, when F5 network launched their first product, our first product, so they call them big IP. Now you will say from where big IP came. Like I told you, F5 came from the Toronto movie. There is no such thing from where big IP came. They just give them a name like a big IP. So their first ever product, which was a very simple load balancer, not a fancy one, no such feature because that was in 1997. Now the world has been totally changed in 20 years. And they call that LTM, either you can call them load balancer, big IP. Now later on the company become developed. Now they have all over the world branches and this become like a multinational company. So what they say, okay, let's change the terminology. Big IP is not the load balancer. Basically, big IP is the whole system which you buy. Like I will say this is our big IP system. So now it's up to you which product you need. Like we will do LTM, but they have GTM, ASM, APM, AM, AA, FM. So overall, this all system we call them a big IP. Now in big IP, it's up to you. It's like a flavor inside the big IP. Which flavor you need, which company thing you need. So you will say initially I need LTM, and maybe you say no, I need two things. So you will get two licenses, but the device will be same. So whenever you need the third one, enable the third one and get the license. So this whole our thing is called big IP, this product. So it means it's like a framework, and this framework inside there is so many modules. Like I told you, a LTM, which we will do. This is the initial one, local traffic manager. Then JTM, which is global traffic manager. Now they call them a DNS as well. ASM, application security manager. AFM, access policy manager. AAM, application acceleration manager, and application firewall manager, because they have a firewall as well, just like any other Palo Alto. So they have also a firewall. So this overall framework we call them now big IP, but at the beginning they call this big IP to that one load balancer which they introduced at the beginning. Now let me clarify that, because before it was like a appliance. You call them this like a appliance. You look at this is like a uh, ice cream cone, and inside you have so many flavor. Which flavor you need? So the cone is the same, but you will put the different flavor. You need a vanilla, either you need a chocolate. But the thing is, now everything is being changed. You will see very few appliances. So it means this big IP is like a virtualized environment. It can be hardware, it can be appliance, it can be what is called cloud base as well. But this overall thing we call them a big IP. And you can say big IP is just like a buzzword, like a marketing word they use for this their product. So don't worry, big IP is nothing, just their a buzz and marketing word which they call their device. Now coming to this big IP system, it's been divided in two categories. One is TMOS, traffic management. This is their own operating system, like a Windows operating system, Cisco iOS operating system, Linux operating system. So they have their own operating system inside these flavors, which they call them TMOS, traffic management operating system. But in every big IP system is being partitioned in two way. It means they basically there are two operating system. One is for their traffic like our traffic will hit this device, but for the management and administration they have a separate operating system. So in this way, the traffic is totally separated. So if your main device is being what is called hanged and it is being hit so many traffic, nothing will happen with your GUI, either with your CLI, either your management. You can still access your device because the administration side operating system is different. Inside this device is two operating system running. One is running for management and the other is running for traffic. The administration side is GUI, which is a graphically we will use GUI, and they have their CLI but two-way TMOS shell and CLI command line interface as well. CLI is like a Linux, you know, CentOS, which is the free version of what is called Red Hat Linux operating system. So inside they have a Red Hat Linux operating system commands. You can use the same command which is in Linux by CLI, and they have a TMOS shell as well, which is a bit different command but not difficult. Most of the thing we will use a GUI. You can do each and 99% thing through GUI, so no need of anything by the way. So TMOS traffic management system is their own operating system which is developed, which can be a physical, which can be a virtual, which can be a cloud based, and inside they have so many things, but I don't want to go in detail inside because we don't care. We just need to know that there is two operating system in this big IP system and they have so many modules. Which module you need, so just activate that modules, apply the license and use them. Tomorrow you need GTM, activate them, put the license and use them. The same device can work for so many flavors. The other one is the administrator operating system. I already told you what is TMOS shell, and the other is the CentOS, which is a Linux flavor. And this one you can use as a graphical and as a CLI and as a TMOS shell command. And you can configure, you can use, you can monitor, you can do whatever with this big IP, with this LTM, whatever module you are using, the concept will be the same. Now coming those module which I was talking about, these module inside this big IP system. So the first one is the LTM, which we will do. Local traffic manager means a device which will handle the local traffic. A manager like in company which handle the human source, it will handle the traffic. So it's called them local traffic manager. We have a global traffic manager as well. An application firewall manager, access policy manager, application security manager, application acceleration manager, and so many other modules as well. But we don't want to go in that. At least you have to know that they have so many modules. And every modules have their own job and is require the company what they need. If they need a load balancer, so you will say which load balancer you need. You want to use them, your inside data center, okay. Local traffic manager, I need this module. What is the license price? What is these things? So you will buy this modules only license. Activate this one. And so on. If they need a firewall, they need a WAN accelerator, they need whatever. So you can buy those modules. So this is the device from outside. Application delivery control, which I told you what is application delivery control. The device which is used for so many things like a load balancing, security control, traffic management, for availability, for security, reliability, visibility, acceleration, and so many things. So the device, okay, they have so many like a router and switches module series. This is the simplest one, but you will find some is bigger, some is smaller, someone is more ports, someone is less ports, some has more slots. But end of the day, these are the things which you will find in the big IP device. From outside, there is a management port like any other device. If I have another image which is more, yeah, this one is a bit more closer. So this is a management port. Default IP is 245 you convert them, so it's become like a 25, sorry, F5. That's why they give them this IP. If I go to calculator and go to programmer and decimal, if I type 245, so in hexadecimal is become F5. So default IP is this one. If you want to configure the appliance, virtually it will get IP from DHCP, keep in mind. So what I was talking about, this is the management port. Connect there and give to your laptop any IP from this range, from one range, and you can get the GUI of this device and configure them. They have some USB port as well for so many purpose. This one is the console port like any other device in Cisco. This one is also console port, but you will see a blue behind. This is for failure, but an old device, a new one they replace them. So you put the console cable, it come automatically with them, and the other with the other device. So you can use them for HA, high availability. So you will see two console port. One is for the failure and the other is like a general console port which we are using in Cisco switch and router. Here you will see the port number. We will discuss in port in detail. The port number is a bit different like a 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 in such type. If you go to another modules, so it will be 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. If you go to third, so it will be 3.1, 3.2 and so on. Like in Cisco F00, F01, and these are the slot if you want to put something. And here is the screen. You can do a basic configuration. Even the management IP can be configured from here, this LCD panel. And these are the control up, down, left, right button, and these are the logo obviously. And behind you will see like this one. This is behind you. There will be two power supply because for redundancy every device you will see two power supply, and some fan which is in everywhere you will see, and some chassis if you want to put some extra stuff. So this is the front view which I told you, the management USB port and the gigabyte and LCD display. This is the device from the front and this is from the behind. Okay, just like a Cisco router and switches, they have so many series like 11,000 series, 10,000 series, and they have so many series. The structure will be changed. The port will be more, the port will be less. The management will be on one side, maybe, and the management will be on a different side, like a Cisco switches router. But end of the day the configuration in each and everything is similar, so don't worry that if you say okay the hardware platform is totally different, how are gonna configure, it's the same. Okay, so these are the, and they have a virtual edition. As I told you, they have virtual and cloud edition as well because the world is changing. So you will see the virtual edition, software editions, and hardware edition, and also appliances as well. Okay, now coming to the one which we will do is a big IP LTM. What is LTM? Local Traffic Manager. A manager which will control the local traffic. So we call them LTM. And this is the most popular and one of the most and the high demanded appliance of F5 network. Every 99% company deploy F5 load balancer. Maybe they will use another firewall, but load balancer will be definitely from F5 because they have a firewall as well. But the one which they are leading is the LTM, local traffic manager. So LTM is working like a full proxy. I just told you what is full proxy. Now I have the picture. I was about to show you this picture. So they are creating two connection in the middle, this LTM. It get the TCP. I just told you what is TCP. That's why I was giving you the basic knowledge. Client request TCP and it give it to the server TCP request. Two different connection and the middle is LTM. It's get the application data and modify and give it to the server. So it can do this job as well for us. If get the encrypted data as a HTTPS, as a TLS and SSL and give it to unencrypted, so there will be no burden on the server to encrypt and decrypt. So this is another beauty of the LTM. It get the data in compressed version and make them uncompressed and give it to the server. So there will be no load in our data center database servers. It get the detail as a IPv6 and give it to as a IPv4. Not only this, they have so many other features to do to control the traffic, to manage the traffic. Okay, and the three main thing which I told you what a proxy can do. It is like a reverse proxy, it can handle our server, and it can do load balancing. These are the three main role of LTM to provide. But beside this balancer, what they can do, they can provide reliability, security, visibility, acceleration, traffic control, traffic management, and to distribute the traffic on the server basis on many criteria. Maybe this server is powerful, so it will give more resources to this server. Maybe this server is down, temporary or whatever. So the LTM know all these things. So this is the which we call them a local traffic manager. Either in shortcut we call them LTM, and maybe you will heard this word big IP LTM. So big IP I told you is just like a buzz word which they are using. Okay. Beside this can do so many things. I just give you an overview what is LTM, and this is the front view and back view I give you. There is a management by default, this IP, USB port, console port, failure port, Ethernet port. They have gigabit port as well. To use SAP, convert them and to connect. They have fan port and also LCD pane and control LCD buttons to change the details.